Wow, look at this beautiful sunrise. Absolutely love making it here early in the morning after my 2-mile walk to see the sunrise for another day, another gift. As we talked about, another 1 to 200,000 people didn't make it to today. Yesterday was their last day. Congratulations for making it to this day. My saying is, make today great. Choose now, choose in advance to make today great. And I focus on 3 areas: my health, my relationships, and my finances. Dr. Vogelman in the house. Good morning, good to see you here. So today, I'm going to be discussing a topic that, surprisingly, not everyone, good morning, hot droppers, not everyone is embracing at the level that I feel they could dramatically improve their health, their relationships, and finances just by tapping into some of the things that we're going to be discussing today. So I like looking at this sunrise better than looking at my face. So not that my face isn't good to look at. However, this is just too gorgeous to flip back. So let me ask you this. Can you hear me okay? Type yes, type hearts, tap the screen. Can you hear me okay? Is the audio okay? Okay, cool, perfect. So we will continue with this. And if you could see this, because if you've witnessed using Periscope, the away from camera doesn't pick up audio as much as the towards camera. So my face is literally inches away from this phone. So someone looking at me might think I'm trying to kiss my phone. So yeah, that's a great visual, but it's all for you. Okay, perfect. Audio is good, thank you. All right, so here's the deal. There's an app on iPhones, and help me if you don't use an iPhone, if you use the Android. Is there a podcast app on Androids? I'm not too familiar. However, oh, here comes the helicopter. This must be an early morning ritual, bringing someone somewhere. It's happened several of my morning Periscope. Anyhow, on the iPhone, there's an app that's standard on all phones that are updated. Like Coronado and Navy Base here, absolutely, absolutely. So the podcast app is full of information that used to be unavailable, used to cost thousands of dollars, used to require you to have to pay for a live event, buy a plane ticket to go to a live event, rent a hotel for that live event, and learn the information from these experts who are best-selling authors, best achieving entrepreneurs, best achieving health experts, best high achieving relationship experts. Anything and everything you could possibly think of that could assist you in improving your life, health, relationships, finance, and other areas are available to you at your fingertips if you so choose to seek. What do they say? What's that old scripture? Seek and you shall find. Seek and you shall find. So if you have not tapped into the value and the life-transforming content that is inside your phone via this podcast app, via the platform that Apple has created with iTunes, you're missing out. And here's how and why, with some tips. Knock and the door shall be open to you. Absolutely. Dr. Vogelman, thank you. This helicopter, it's stalking me, man. It's stalking me. It's coming. It's coming back. It wants to get an autograph or something. Oh yeah, it's coming right towards me. Hey, what's up? All right, I'll get back to the program here shortly. Watch it land on the building. That'd be sweet. So, yep, we just spotted Tom Beal. We gotta come back and get a picture. That picture's gonna be posted somewhere. Anyhow. All right. People often don't appreciate the free stuff on podcasts. Well, here's human nature, Dr. Vogelman. People, by human nature, have a tendency to not appreciate things that are given to them for free. And it's a true dichotomy that you can give someone valuable information that could change every aspect of their life, but if it's given to them for free, this is a sunrise, but it is absolutely beautiful. Chris Frez, 10 years now. Post where your podcast is, man. Congrats. You were an early adopter. That's awesome. I had the opportunity to begin one back in 2006 and didn't see the long term and chose not to participate. And that's good for you. So post your podcast you've been doing for 10 years in here so we can see. All right, so back to all this free stuff. So let's go back to high school. Let's go back to high school. When we were in high school and we turned 16, 17, all that fun stuff, how many of you were given a car versus the parents saying, hey, you know what? We recognize you're 16 now and you can choose to go get your driver's license, and when you do so, we will assist you in getting your first car, and we will assist you in showing how to get insurance. All right, there it is, CamaroShow.com, CamaroZ28.com podcast. Love it, and I love the fact that you targeted directly into a specific niche. So people who love Camaros, which are a lot, and the Z28s, you're speaking specifically to them. Specifics win. That is awesome. Very cool. So way to go. And that's a great lesson for those listening to this live or watching a replay. Look how specific that podcast was. Do you think someone who stumbles across that, if they like Mustangs, they're probably not going to want, hey, great, let me subscribe to this. But the people that are fanatical about their Camaros and about their Z28s, this is going to be singing their song in their heart, in their mind. And that is fantastic. So well done. Well done. Riches in the niches, absolutely. So back to free stuff. So, okay, so that story in high school where you either had a parent that gave you the car, or you had a parent that helped you learn how to save money, maybe fronted you some money, loaned you some money that you had to pay back, and helped you understand how to get insurance and how they may have assisted with that, but they may have also said that's something you have to step up and pay for. Now here's what I experienced in high school. The kids that were given the car versus having to invest and put some skin in the game didn't treat it as nicely as the ones who maybe didn't get as nice of a car, but it was theirs. They invested the time, they invested the money, they invested the sweat to get that, and they appreciated it that much more, even though it may have been a real pile of crap, a real junker. They appreciated it much more than the brand new car that was given to someone else in the class. So yes, human nature tends to, see that thing's just hovering over there, look at that, it's chilling. Not sure what it's a news one, I don't know what it is. Anyhow, invest in yourself and others will be helped, yes. So that's another lesson, take that as you will. If you truly believe in your clients, yes, you give some free information, you give some valuable stuff. The more you give, the more you get. However, there comes a point where you could give them a $10,000 course, a $20,000 experience, and if it was given to them, they wouldn't appreciate it as much as if you gave them something along these lines, like, look, I care too much about your success to give this to you for free, because things that are given for free aren't given the proper attention. So I won't do that disrespect to you. I will charge you, or you give them a helicopter ride. Podcaster's Paradise, awesome, very good, very good. And have them put some skin in the game, and that's doing them a favor. All right, so that's a little side from podcasts. So here are some of my favorite podcasts, and go ahead and think of some of yours soon. So one, there's so many, it's not going to be in the order of priority, but I'm thinking off the top of my head, and I'll capture probably the top 5. So the number 1 podcast that I absolutely love is Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen podcast. That is unbelievable. Joel is probably one of the best speakers alive, in my opinion, and super powerful messages. Now, obviously, he is a pastor of a church, a huge church in Houston, but I have actually shared this with friends who are Jewish, who are Muslim, who are a wide range of religions, and I said, look, just suspend any religious things that you may not believe, or you know, and just go and listen to the message. Truth is truth. And many of them have come back and said, wow, thank you for sharing this with me, and thank you for asking me to suspend that prior judgment, because this is tremendous. So Joel Osteen is probably hands down my favorite podcast, and I would recommend, if you have anything inside of you saying, well, yeah, but I'm not into that religious stuff. It's not. It's really personal development, where he yes, references scripture, and yes, we'll share some messages, but they're messages that ring true for any religion. And if you go to actually my site, my podcast, maketodaygreat.com, you tap on one of the tabs at the top. I actually share one of my favorite videos and one of my favorite segment, and where Joel says, look, my God covers all gods. Like, you know, there's people in the audience that are Muslim, that are, you know, they're Jewish, and we don't. It's not only for a certain look, for a certain race, for a certain religion. This message is for everybody. So, yeah, I'm thankful Dr. Vogelman's here too. This guy is absolutely brilliant. So, Dr. Vogelman, where can people find more about you? Because you know, our paths have crossed many years ago, and yeah, absolutely. Many pastors criticize him for not enough fire and brimstone. You're absolutely right. And hey, guess what? As you grow in your message, you're going to have haters. There you go. So at Dr. Vogelman on Twitter and/or here, and you will find more great information from him. Our paths crossed, geez, many years ago, and it's been a blessing that it still paths are crossing. East Coast, West Coast. He's an early riser, as you can see. So, and Blab, awesome, very cool. So that's my absolute hands down favorite. So go to maketodaygreat.com and you'll see one of my favorite presentations. Click on one of the tabs at the top. And yes, love you too. Bi-coastal for sure. And you are absolutely early riser. Love it. So go to maketodaygreat.com, maketodaygreat.com. Click on some of the tabs. I think it's either the About or something, and it shares one of my favorite Joel Osteen podcasts. It's really touching. I might listen to that on my walk back. Another one, since I'm a marketer, I listen to a lot of marketing ones. So there's one that's free by Joe Polish and Dean Jackson called I Love Marketing. I Love Marketing. Now, I'm friends with Joe and Dean and have been for years. These two are brilliant marketers. Joe Polish has helped Tony Robbins, has helped Arianna Huffington, has helped, if you remember the Body for Life movement that was by EAS years ago, he was the one that gave Bill Phillips the idea to put that challenge together, the Body for Life challenge to grow that company tremendously, and he is brilliant. So I Love Marketing. You are going to pick up some marketing tips that it would take hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn similar tips from people that know what they're doing, are tapped in with some of the best leaders in, thank you, you too, the best leaders in the marketing game, you know, to include Tony Robbins, Arianna Huffington, you know, and other billionaires. He's good friends with Sir Richard Branson. I mean, just amazing. So I Love Marketing is one. Then my other favorite one is another one with Joe Polish that he started with business coach Dan Sullivan. And Dan Sullivan has coached tens of thousands of entrepreneurs over his long stretching, multi-decade career. And Dan's in his early 70s, and he's been doing it for 30 or 40 years. Dan is the man for sure. And they have a podcast called 10X Life. 10X Life, I believe. And that one really intrigues me and really does what the title says. It shows you how to 10X your life, your results, all that. So that's another great one. My friend, yes, 10X Life. My friend, let's see, who's another one that well, obviously mine. If you aren't on mine, I feel mine is pretty valuable. I help you take your life to new heights in your health, relationships, and finances at Make Today Great. So you can go to maketodaygreat.com, listen to the podcast there. And then Sam Crowley, Every Day is Saturday. That's a great podcast. Sam Crowley, Every Day is Saturday. Man, that is a fantastic one. And boy, talk about a go-getter, inspirational. Here's a funny story. So back in February of 2007, Mike Filsame and I put on a live event. It was a $5,000 per person live event. Oh, awesome. That's right. And Sam was brand new in February of 07, getting on this Every Day is Saturday movement. And he came to that event, you know, invested, came, and at the end of it, came up to me and said, hey, you don't know my name yet. But, yeah, absolutely, Mike does live close to you. You don't know my name yet, but I am Sam Crowley. I recently transitioned out of corporate America, and my movement is Every Day is Saturday. He told me his story about how his daughter inspired him to create that movement. And man, Sam is not only so cool, has touched so many lives by just being transparent, by being real, and by being someone who shares just the life, the ups and downs, to include his brand new daughter, which is a year old now, that was born extremely premature and had like almost 0 chance of living, and just celebrated a 1-year birthday. So that story has touched the hearts, and it's a new movement called One More Breath that is going to be fantastic. Yes, baby Susan and one more breath. So Sam is just a gift to this world. Super thrilled that you know, he tapped into Mike and my training years ago, implemented it, and has touched hundreds of thousands of lives throughout the world. So Every Day is Saturday is a must listen as well. Let's see, let me think, what's another one? Oh, this one is a must listen also. Brendan Burchard. Brendan Burchard. Now, you've probably heard of Brendan. He's multiple New York Times bestseller, another good friend, in a mastermind with him and many other top marketers for years. And he has The Millionaire Messenger is one of his books. He has Life's Golden Ticket is another book. He has The Charge is another book. Motivation Manifesto is another book. And his podcast is another hard-hitting game changer. Like 10 minutes, 12 minutes of really like 3 points to do this, 4 points to do this. I was taking notes on his podcast earlier today. So those are some of my top podcasts. I want to hear some of your top podcasts. There you go. James Schranko, Super Fast Business Podcast. Awesome. James Schranko, Super Fast Business Podcast. Who else has, or Dr. Vogtman, what are some other top podcasts? Have all 3 books. Great stuff. Absolutely, Alan. And I think I mentioned 4. So have you read Life's Golden Ticket? That one is a real heart tugger and a real trajectory modifier. So Life's Golden Ticket, The Millionaire Messenger, The Charge, and Motivation Manifesto. All right, yes, awesome. Elko de Boer, yes, in Holland. Now, he does speak Dutch on occasion, but there you go. Thanks, Dr. Vogtman. But Elko is tremendous. Tremendous. Actually, he allowed me. I actually met with Elko down here in South Florida. I've been friends with him since he and I met through Mike Filsame and our marketers cruise years ago. And Elko is tremendous, amazing entrepreneur. He actually was interviewed on the I Love Marketing podcast, and I highly recommend looking for Elko de Boer. Just search EELCO, I Love Marketing, and hearing his podcast in particular. Ironically, I was listening to his podcast of I Love Marketing, his interview, when I was flying over to Amsterdam to speak at another large event over there. And that was awesome. So anyhow, Elko is tremendous. And while he was here in Florida, and I brought him to my mastermind meeting, and he gave me a gift, which, Slack is an interesting podcast, awesome. Elko gave me a gift called Necker Notes. And I took Necker Notes and used this powerful tool, which you have never heard of this. This is awesome. I learned from my friend Jeffrey Gittimer. Read awesome reports into an audio and record it. So I took Elko's Necker Notes, which are his notes from being on Necker Island with Joe Polish, with Sir Richard Branson, and many other awesome entrepreneurs. Elko took tremendous notes and made it into a book. I read those into an audio. And I think if you go to tombeal.com/Necker Notes or tombeal.com/Necker, I forgot which one I created. It might be just tombeal.com/Necker or /Necker Notes. I forgot off the top of my head. It wasn't planned for today's chat. He allowed me to give away the audio as a gift. So I believe it's there somewhere. And if it's not, when I get home, I'll make a note to make a redirect. So here we go. Kim, Joel Comm's old podcast, and love his new Joel Comm show. There you go. Is that work? Does Dr. Vogtman, if you can check, or anyone else, if you can check if one of those 2 links works. I know I created something when he gave me that gift to give to others, some redirect that went to it, but I can't remember which it was. There's a lot of redirects. Let's just put it that way. Anyhow, yes, Joel Comm, another great friend. Funny story. Well, I won't get into that. Joel and I have been friends since '06. Amazing man, making a big difference in the world also. So we have shared a lot of valuable podcasts. Now here's where the rubber meets the road. What are you going to do with this? What actions are you going to take? There's 4 questions that you need to ask. Yeah, Joel's doing big on Blab. He's loving that for sure. What question, or 4 questions you need to ask if you want to make some changes or make some modifications. Your life may be amazing right now, or you may be having some difficulties right now. And guess what? No level of success excludes you from difficulties. So summers and winters still come. It's up to you to ask these 4 questions. What do I need to start doing? What do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? And what do I need to stop doing altogether? So hopefully, if you aren't listening to podcasts yet and you stumble across this audio, one, congratulations. It's a pleasure that our paths crossed. Yes, absolutely. Two, you need to start listening to podcasts. We shared many valuable podcasts. Pick ones that you feel are resonating with you and take action. More action, less thinking. Absolutely. Take some action. Here's what I do. When I do my morning walk, it's an hour round trip walk, half hour to the beach, half hour back. I listen to my podcasts at 2x speed. So in my half hour walk, I listen to an hour of podcasts. On the half hour back, another hour. So 2 hours of podcasts in 1 hour. And Dr. Vogelman, absolutely you need to start your own show. This is your kick in the butt, your wake-up call, hello moment. I am looking forward and will be a first subscriber to the Dr. Vogelman podcast. Let me know when that thing's up and running, my friend. Absolutely. And you working with Sam Crowley, I mean, he's the podcast genius who started his podcast roughly 10 years ago too. So he's been consistent and persistent at it. 2x sometimes too fast. Yep. Sometimes 1.5 is better. I use another app called Speed Up for audios and Speed Up TV for YouTube that actually can go up to 3x. So I listen to 3x most of the time, unless I'm listening to podcasts and it only goes up to 2x. So what do you need to start doing? So for Dr. Vogelman, it's start doing a podcast. And if you aren't listening to a podcast, you need to start listening to these podcasts. Pick which ones resonated with you, go check them out, research them, and start listening. What do you need to do more of? Aha, Dr. Fun. I like it. I like it. Do more of and do less of. What do you need to do less of? So less TV, more podcasts. How about that? And what do you need to stop doing altogether? Stop making excuses. Stop procrastinating. Stop putting off these things that you know are trajectory modifiers for you. Less thinking, more doing, as Dr. Vogelman shared. Hey, I got to get back on my walk. It's been an absolute pleasure crossing paths with each and every one of you today in this live scenario and listening to this on a recording. It's an honor that our paths crossed here as well. Far less TV, less Netflix too. Yes. All right, bye for now. It's been an absolute pleasure. And my all-time favorite podcast, personally, is Make Today Great. Make Today Great. Go to maketodaygreat.com. Click up top at one of those buttons if you're on your computer, and you'll find that my favorite Joel Osteen video. And then also subscribe to Make Today Great podcast. I look forward to chatting with you on upcoming Periscopes. All right. Make Today Great, everybody. I will talk with you soon.